All right. Let's see who's connecting, who's jumping on board. Awesome, awesome, awesome on this wonderful Sunday. Let's see who jumps on board, who's here, wherever you are connecting from. You can leave me a comment. Let me know where you are connecting from. It's always nice to know what regions and what countries are connecting with me right about now. I do different lives at different times sometimes just to see what other countries get involved, of course, right? All right, some people are already joining. Awesome. Serbia, thank you. Thank you. Demir, Mary, thank you for joining. Buddha, Neptune, awesome. A few people are already here. Mark, Rob, awesome. Where are you folks joining from? Durham, Northeast, UK, awesome. Auckland, New Zealand, there you go. New Zealand is in the house. Sweden is in the house. Let's see who else is joining. I'm going to start briefly talking about source. Let's get some likes here, folks. The more likes we get, the more of a feeding frenzy we create here on TikTok, and TikTok just loves it when we tap those screens and we create likes and loves and all that stuff. Hello from Sweden, awesome. I love it. Central New York, awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. I hope everybody is well and everybody is doing fantastic. Okay, so what I wanted to discuss today is about source, of course. A lot of times we think that source is not around, and we, or God, whatever you want to call it, right? We kind of have a tendency of thinking that source is somewhere outside and somewhere else, but in reality, source is everywhere around us. As a matter of fact, look at it like this, okay? For everything that's around you, living and non-living, because we also have energies, right? Let's say you see this pen, okay? This pen, as you are looking at it, it's looking back at you as well, okay? And as you have a certain consciousness about it, it also has a consciousness, believe it or not. So, you are looking at it, it is looking back at you. Now, what does this mean? There's different things in different perspectives. So when you take everything into consideration, when you see everything around you, they are all exploring this universe from a different perspective. Okay, so when you combine all of it together, this is what source is, including yourself. Okay, see, source is everything and everyone, and it is the glue that keeps everything together, of course. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about, source. Let's see who else is jumping on board here. You guys can have any questions that you might want to, say or ask. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to this. For those of you that are new to this, to this channel, I should say, or this page, if you like what you see, you can tap the follow button, and from there you can also, if you don't mind, you can hit the notifications icon. So every time I actually upload a video, you will be the first to get notified. And for those of you that were asking about my other social media platforms, of course, you can always hit my link tree at the bottom. The minute you do that, it's going to direct you to my other platforms, okay? And for those of you that also want to subscribe, this is your opportunity while I am live. Anybody that does so and wishes to can have a quick Zoom meeting with me on a one-to-one, and just touch base from there. All right, so any questions here? All right, let's see. Funny, I had the same theory. Awesome. Okay, joining from Ghana's in the house. Okay, that's very, very good. Let's see who else joined. Vancouver, of course, Central New York. Okay, so we saw this. Let's see the messages that you guys might have. From Ontario, Canada here. Awesome. Thank you, Karen from Ontario. Always nice to see my fellow Ontarians here as well. Redwater, Alberta, Canada. Awesome. Thank you, Richard, for connecting. Victoria, of course, BC. That's very good. Petra, okay. Dr. Petra. How to connect to spirit guides. Beautiful question. I get this actually a lot. And the best way to connect with spirit guides is to simply ask them. Okay. And when I say ask them, you can do this either vocally, or you can do it just mentally, projected, okay? But what I would recommend when you ask them to be in a position of stillness, okay? Meaning that you are quiet, you are still. You can do this in a meditative state, of course, or you can do this just before you go to bed. And the reason for this is because the world around us is much more at ease and calm. And when you do ask in this particular state, the answers that you receive, you will be able to actually pick up on them because you are in this moment of stillness. And this is where we get all the answers, okay? So this is the best way to do it. Just simply ask them. And believe it or not, the first information that comes to you is always the best, okay? Just stay, you're stuck. Who's stuck? I'm gonna ride on. Awesome. You do that, keeps loading. Just, oh, I'm stuck. So I guess check your internet connection, Just Jay. Maybe sometimes you can actually just, get off the app, close the app, and then just go back on it. That should help you, okay? Joining from Ghana. Awesome. Good evening. Marco's in the house. You're frozen. Okay, Just Jay, if you can hear me, I suggest you turn off the TikTok app totally. Just shut it off. Sometimes it does freeze, okay? So just shut it off and come back to it, and you're going to find me anyway on the live, okay? That's what I suggest you do. How do you revise the past? So, believe it or not, past, present, and future are all happening at once. They are all happening right now. So even though we think that we are actually going backwards and revising or reliving something, it is actually happening in the now. The best way to do it is remember whatever. This is very interesting actually, because I also did a video on this. You can actually change what you think or what you consider as your past, because everything happens in the now, right? So let's say you had an event that happened in the past that you simply somehow you were uneasy about it. By thinking about it in the present moment and thinking about how it plays out in the present moment, you actually change that, okay? Believe it or not, you can change the past because everything happens in the now. All right. So, better, yes. Figure Leon, yes, you are right. Just ask and the answer is the first come in. 1000%. I've always said that many, many times actually, that whenever you want to connect with spirit guides, or whenever you want to have an answer from source or your higher being, inner being, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter what name we give it, right? The best way is to ask. The minute you ask and you are in a position of stillness and quietness, of course, the first answers you get are always the best. And the reason for this is because our mind, our brain takes over and starts creating things. And that's not what we want. We want the original stuff to come through and not what our brain is telling us, right? Okay, awesome. Who else has questions? Any other questions here? I got another message at the bottom. That's awesome. Okay, who are you? Awesome. Just go and check my TikTok page and you can see a whole bunch of videos and you can see. All right. So, NWO Crusher is in the house. I see 333 everywhere, especially on the clock. What does it mean? Again, every time you see numbers, especially numbers like this that are repetitive and are similar, there is always a message for you, believe it or not. And the message is coming from the other side, let's call it that, okay? So it could be a message from your higher being, it could be a message from your guides, it could be a message from all kinds of different light beings, I should say. Okay, so the question here is, what does the number 333 mean to you? Okay, because the significance that you have put onto this number is very unique to you. So, for example, 333 might mean something different to me, something different to you, and to somebody else it means nothing, right? So you got to go back and you got to figure out why this 3-3 is popping up for you, but it definitely is. Thank you for that. It definitely is a message from the other side. Okay. And just come down to your level of questions. Just ask. Exactly. Yes. And Marco, where did you learn all that? Again, Marco, this information, believe it or not, is available to everybody. Once you learn how to connect with who you really are, and you learn how to be silent and still and be fully present in the moment, everybody is accessible or has access to this information, I should say, okay? Because what happens is we don't allow this information to come through, okay? So you need to be in a position of allowing it, and this information will come either as downloads or they will come as images, visions, feelings, or just like a flash thought, something like that will come through, okay? All right. It means that you are on your path and your angel guide is directing you towards your truer self. There you go. I'm assuming we're talking about the 333, right? How do you get into the state and stay there? How do you get into the state and stay there? So again, you need to be fully present and aware of the moment. And I know a lot of us, you've heard this many times, but we don't put it into practice, okay? And the reason for this is because our mind takes over. So being fully present literally means being fully present, being totally aware of everything around you and don't think of anything else. Because the moment you are fully present, your mind can't think of anything else. So if your mind is thinking of something else, you're not fully present. I got news for you. You're not. Somewhere, even though you think you're present, you're not, because your mind is acting up still. Okay? Let's get some more likes, folks, so we can create a bigger feeding frenzy here. So let's see, 3 of us, and Malaysia can do it. Also, all right. How do you try to reach forward mate? So, what do you mean by reaching forward? By reaching forward, are you talking about trying to reach like a future plan of yours, or do you? That's the only way I can interpret it, right? Because if that's the way, you got to see whatever future life you are seeing or wanting, you got to see it as being totally fulfilled in this present moment, okay? Because everything happens in the present moment, okay? That's the only way, actually. So I used to sell a lot of numbers back in the day and found out things later on the net. Whatever works, yes. If you can find information and you actually are in alignment with it, then that's fine, right? So one of my friend can see the dead relative just after death. Yeah, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that can do this. There's also a lot of what do you call them, like mediums that actually can do this. They can actually see dead people, and I mean literally see dead people standing behind you and whatnot. And the reason for this is because nobody dies. Okay, I've said it before. Who you are never dies. Okay, and the quickest way to understand this is like this. Okay, where are you right now in this present moment? You are here, right? So since you are here and you are aware, and since past, present, and future are all one, what does this mean? This means that you are, you were, and you always will be. It's plain and simple. Now, when I say you are, you were, and you always will be, I don't mean in this physical body. I mean your awareness of who you are. All right? Okay. I want to see future in stock market. Any tip? See it as it is happening in the present moment. Okay? Whatever it is that you want to see it as being in the present moment. So actually being can see future event but not aware. Okay? What are good affirmations for wealth and relationships? So I guess, again, when you create affirmations, for a lot of people they work, for a lot of others they don't. And why is this? Because you simply, you're repeating something over and over and over again, but your mind or your subconscious is not really picking up on the message, okay? So the best way, again, to connect with wealth, for example, is to look around you and find, what do you call it, abundance, okay? So let's say you're walking down the street. How can you connect with abundance? Look at your street. How many trees are there? A lot of them, right? How many cars are there? A lot of them. How many homes are there? A lot of them. How many people are walking around? A lot of them. So you get the idea, right? You actually connect with abundance. And this is what you want to connect with. It's not the money. It's not anything else that you want to connect with. It is the abundant feeling. So when you connect with this abundant feeling and emotion, everything in your life will be abundant, including wealth, including loving relationships, okay, because you are connecting with abundance, okay? And this is the key to everything, believe it or not. Everything that you want to so-called attract, I should say. So material is not indebted to us when we leave it. Stays. So why protect that of what stays? So again, believe it or not, nothing around us is material. Okay, nothing. And even though we think that we are material, we think that this pen is material, it is not. And even quantum physics has caught on to this. And with the most powerful tools, you can zoom into this pen and you can see that on a deep, deep level, it's nothing. There's nothing there. Zero. The only thing that you see is energy dancing around. Now, the same applies to your body. The same applies to everything around us. What does this mean? Material doesn't exist. This is what it means, right? So what does exist? Two things, energy and consciousness. Okay? Energy is the tool. Consciousness is what creates and dictates to the energy what it wants to see out of it, okay, or what it wants to do out of it. So, who are you? You are consciousness. You are the power behind the throne. You are the one that's directing this energy. So when you see it like that, okay, there's nothing for you to protect and nothing stays. It's all a game. It's all energy. Good evening, my friend. Okay, good Edinburgh. Okay. What you said in the video, reaching forward into the point in front of you. Okay, I'm not sure what video that one was, but reaching toward the point in front of you. I'm not sure what video that one was because I've done a lot of different videos, believe it or not. What I would recommend is you see it again and just play it back again, because whatever I've said in that video, maybe I was specifying on a specific thing, right? So, and believe it or not, at this point I've done so many videos, it is remarkable. I need to remember which one is which and what I was referring to actually. So, Hamari, how to be aware and not in your mind most of the time. I want the best grounding tech you know. All right, again, so the best way to be grounded and aware to everything around you is this, okay? Connect with the energy inside you and feel it internally, okay? You can start from a spot, either in your hands, your feet. I like from my heart or my stomach area, and I like it just expanding from there. But whatever point you choose, you can do it right now. Focus on your hand right now, right? Just focus on your hand. The minute you focus on your hand, what do you feel? You feel energy. Now, from here, focus on a different part of your body. You're going to feel the energy there, right? So, when you come to a point where you feel this energy in your whole entire body, this is what you do. You only focus on that. So wherever you go, it doesn't matter. You ground yourself by focusing on your internal energy. This is how you ground yourself. This is how you become connected with everything. And this, believe it or not, is the most powerful technique, because you are always in, what do you call it? You are always aware of what your body is doing. And by paying attention to it, you're expanding this energy. And this energy is, in a way, who you really are. Okay? So you focus your awareness on your body no matter where you go. And that is the best way to be grounded, my friend. All right. So, energy may stay, but I must, and your consciousness being one, if so, may go as one. For sure. All right, let's see. Have any of my subs here asking any questions? I didn't see if anybody has actually joined. I just got to go down real fast and see who has joined. Okay, again, what I was talking about earlier was about source again, okay? And what I was saying is that a lot of times what happens, we look for source outside of us. We look for source in other dimensions. We look for source in places that, you know, we just keep imagining. But source is everywhere. Source is all around us. And like I said before, if you take anything in perspective, even this pen is looking at you as well, but it's looking at you from a different angle, different perspective. You, when you look at something, you are unique. There's nobody else like you in this whole entire universe that is as unique as you. And everybody else is unique. So, for example, you put in a room 10 people. These 10 people, there's something happening in the room, right? They're all going to have a different perspective on it because they have a different visual, acoustic. Everybody is different where they're situated. But when you combine all this together, this is what source is. Okay? So, source is everything, including yourself. And source is the glue that keeps everything together. Okay? So, again, for those of you that have come across me for the first time, you can always go check out my TikTok page. And if you like what you see, you can hit a follow, of course. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, you can hit the actual little bell icon, and you will get notified, okay? And for those of you that were asking about my other social media platforms, right at the bottom of my TikTok page, you will find my link tree. You can tap on that, and when you do so, it's going to direct you to my YouTube and Instagram as well. And for those of you that want to subscribe, this is your opportunity. You can subscribe while I am live. This is the only time you can do it. Anybody that does so and wishes to can have a Zoom meeting with me, like a 15-minute one on a one-to-one, just to touch base. All right, let's see what other questions we have here. Actually, beings can fly, but not physical being. All right, awesome. NW Crusher, what do you think of Satanists harming animals and kids? Where does that evil come from? So again, believe it or not, evil does not exist. Darkness does not exist. The only thing that exists is source. Okay, and source is love and light. Everything else happens because you have pinched yourself, or they have pinched themselves off from source or from the light. Okay, but you can only pinch yourself off for so long. Okay, because no matter what happens, you will eventually find your way back to source. So the so-called evil that we perceive and we see, again, is a way for you to become more aware, a way for everybody involved to increase their awareness, to realize what is happening, and to come and join source. Because everybody, and I mean everybody, eventually, thank you for that, Francesca, everybody eventually comes back with source. There's no two ways about it, okay? We are beings of love and light, and there's no such thing as evil in the sense that we perceive it. All right. I'm actually really enjoying your live stream. Thank you very much. Kalispera, my friend. Thank you for being here. Okay. And actually being can communicate with any living bird, dog, etc. The king, yes, King Solomon story is true being. Absolutely, yes. So again, thank you for that, my friend. What does the story of King Solomon actually tell us? Okay, it doesn't tell us that King Solomon was more special than anybody else. We all have these capabilities. We all have these abilities. We all come from the same source. Okay, what King Solomon was doing was he was connected already with his true being, his true self, and by doing so and allowing it, he would be able to communicate with every other creature out there. Of course, it's true, okay? Because King Solomon is not unique. There's so many individuals, even in the here and now, that are actually doing this. Phenomenal. I love this. I'm actually very blind. So again, you are a being of love and light. I need you to understand this, okay? The blind part is something that you need to learn, believe it or not, okay? It is there because you will grow, you will expand, you will evolve out of this and from this. And believe it or not, when you realize this potential, you might even not be blind anymore, okay? We are remarkable, powerful beings. I wish I can just show you how powerful you really are. All right, I could use help in that area. Okay, cosmic wisdom is true, 1000%. Yes. What is the point of life in general? And if we was made by God and one with Him, why is there hell? Again, like I said, hell is a man-made concept. Hell is, for those that cross over and believe in hell, will experience hell, okay? But again, the hell that you will experience is temporary. Like I've said it a million times, it is temporary. Why? Because we create our own reality. Whatever belief you have, you will carry this over. As a matter of fact, the life that you are living here, right now, is because you believe in it, okay? And no matter how strange this might sound to you, this is exactly what is happening. You created this life. And along with your soul group that we call, you are all co-creators in this, okay? So it's nothing else but an act. Hell, in the sense that we think of hell existing, does not exist, okay? This is a man-made creation, I should say, to inflict fear upon others. Why? Because through fear you can actually control others, okay? All right. I have a lot of questions here. Any of my subs here? I'm trying to see. I don't see anybody here tonight. That's awesome. All right. Let's go back up and see how many other questions we have. Thank you. Not a problem, Hamadi. That's awesome. Okay, so why is it that I can watch myself heal? That's actually amazing. If you can actually sit there, thank you, Joanna, and you can watch yourself heal, that is actually amazing, because very few people can see that. Although we do heal automatically, and we just don't pay attention to it because, you know, it's just a natural process that our body does to begin with. That should tell you something, that our bodies, believe it or not, were made to be indestructible. You heard me. The reason why they actually fall apart is because we were brought in to believe that they have to fall apart. We were brought in to believe that old age is normal, that we have to die, and so on and so on. But in reality, if you realize who you really are, none of this has to happen. Why? Because you can actually shift from one reality to another. You can do so many amazing things, because your body is nothing else but energy to begin with, and you are the consciousness behind it. So you can play around with all kinds of stuff. Thank you. Okay. Everything we require is inside us. 1000%, Kara. I totally agree with you. 1000%. I'm finding it hard to feel different emotions than I'm feeling right now. So, whatever emotions you are feeling right now, okay, don't fight them, okay, because when you try to fight an emotion, you're just feeding it more energy, and the more it grows. So, my suggestion would be to accept the emotion as it is, but don't get caught up in it. Accept it and release it, all right? And I know it's easier said than done, but when I say release it, you need to realize that you are not that emotion. You need to realize that you are the one that's observing this emotion. So therefore it cannot be you. You're not the one feeling it, okay? You are just observing it. So you observe it and you let it go. And the minute you do that, other emotions and other loving, beautiful things will come into your life as well. Okay, God or wisdom communicate with being with feeling. I'm not sure what that means, but yep. Can we move to reality where there is no war, like Russia versus Ukraine, or evil things in the world? 1000%, yes. But at the same time, we need to understand that all these things are here on purpose, believe it or not, so we can grow, we can expand, and we can evolve. But if you have learned your particular lessons in this realm, in this reality, you can shift realities where none of this exists. Okay? Why don't they exist? Because you've already outgrown them. So yes, you can shift into a different reality. All right, let's get some more likes here. Let's see what other messages we have. Where are you from? I'm in Canada right now. This is where I am broadcasting. Can you talk a little about and explain the out-of-body experience? So again, the out-of-body experience, believe it or not, there's different ways that you can do it. But having said this, we all leave our bodies every single night, and I've said this many, many times. And the reason for this is because when your body sleeps to recuperate, to rest, your soul, or who you really are, doesn't need to be in it, okay? You travel every night. The difference is you're not... you are aware when you're traveling, but you don't remember it in the morning in your physical body because you simply have forgotten to keep it in your memory, I should say. Okay, the same way we forget about past lives, we forget about leaving our bodies, right? But once you connect with who you really are, and once you understand how you can play around with this, you can remember even every single night where you're leaving and where you're traveling. Okay. Okay. So hypothetically, okay. Speaking, if these anomalies were here, just Bell. Okay. Who you meet, what you do, all is destined. Okay, so in a way it is destined, but at the same time you can change it. And you can change it because even though you came here in a soul group, even though you have... I like when they say we have soul contracts and all that, right? You are in charge, believe it or not. And anytime you want to break free from any soul contract that you might have, it's your choice to do so, believe it or not. Okay? So while it is destined in one way and another, it really isn't, because you still have the power right now to change whatever you want to change. So can you explain how to do the out-of-body experience and how to come back? All right, so again, one of the best ways to do it, believe it or not, is to simply just look at a spot outside, okay, like in front of you. Pick a spot on the wall, and you can even mark an X on it, okay? The minute you mark an X on this spot, what you want to do is you want to focus on this, okay? And as you focus on this, what's going to happen is you're going to feel drowsy. You're going to start feeling more drowsy, more sleeping. And as you do this, okay, you don't want to move your eyes. You don't want to move your body at all, because the minute you do this, what's going to happen is it's not going to work, plain and simple, okay? So from there on, just try to actually move towards this spot without you actually physically moving, okay? What you want to do is you want to just, kind of move without moving, all right? Next thing you know, you will be looking at yourself from that spot, and the minute you do so, what's going to happen is you might even freak out, okay? But what I suggest is you don't freak out, because the minute you freak out, you're going to be back in your body, all right? So the whole purpose of the whole scenario has been defeated, right? So that's one of the best ways to do it. The way you come back is simply just thinking of your body. Okay, the minute you think of your body wherever you are, and when I say your body, I don't mean who you are. I'm talking about your actual body. Just picture your body and back you are again. Okay, so that's all there is about that one. All right, so we have a lot of questions here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer all your questions tonight because it's just you guys have amazing questions here, and I'm getting bombarded by a lot of them. So, telekinesis, I'm going to try to pick a few. Joanna, thank you, my friend. Always love and light to you. Okay, gotta run. I'll talk with you another time. All right, not a problem, my friend. You enjoy your evening or morning. I do know that some people are connecting from Australia and those other regions, so you enjoy yourself. Okay, top you. What does it mean? I took a coin, 14th, with force from another person. In dreams. Thanks. Again, you gotta figure out what that symbol means to you. What does the coin mean to you? What does 14 mean to you? What does the force from the other person? Every time you see a dream, it is actually happening in a different reality, okay? And what you want to do is you want to simply connect with all those objects and see what they mean to you, okay? And when you do this, you're going to be mind blown. You really are going to be mind blown because there's crucial information there for you. A dream is always information. Can you wake up in reality where everything looks different? For example, waking up in a mansion. So to do such a big shift, yes, you can. But to do such a big shift, you need to be so connected. You need to be so so sure of yourself and connected with who you really are to make such a big leap. Okay, but is it possible? 1000% it's possible. But believe me, it takes a lot of understanding how energy and consciousness works to be able to do a big leap like that. Can a horrible dream with a snake? Okay, I had a horrible dream with a snake. I wonder what that was all about. Again, what does the snake represent to you? I know in general, snakes, we consider them to be bad. We consider them to be evil. So for those of you that consider a snake to be bad or evil, obviously this will be not a good omen for you in a dream. But then you have the other type of people that love snakes. They play around with them. They have them around them and they use them as pets. For those people, a snake is not a horrible thing. It is actually a companion, a friend. Okay, so for those people, this dream is not horrible. It means companionship. It means friendships. It means positive things, right? So again, it all depends on how you connect with the dream. And I guess by saying the word horrible here, I already know how you connected. You don't like snakes, plain and simple. So for you, this dream is not going to be a good one, obviously. Okay? All right. Is there a silver string connecting you? So I've heard this many, many times, that you have a silver string and that you're connected. And the answer is plain and simple, no. Okay? There is no silver string connecting you to anything. If there was, you wouldn't be able to move around freely from one dimension to another. Okay? The only thing that you have is your consciousness, your awareness, and your body. The reason you come back is because you want to come back to your body. Okay? And if you don't realize that you want to come back to your body, there's others around you, like your guides and everything else, that are actually guiding you and with you all the time. So either way, you will come back to your body. Okay? If it's not your time to go. I heard Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan talking about mushrooms and saying they see patterns and ego death. 1000%. This totally works. Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan are totally right on this. I'm sorry. Not just them, but so many others have tried this and it actually works for them. But the difference is that you can actually do this without using mushrooms. Okay, there are people that do this without using mushrooms or anything else. And the key is to actually experience this without using any drugs. Why? Because drugs have other, or psychedelics have other negatives that I don't like about them. So, but Does it happen? Absolutely. Okay, so I'm not joking. I did in Rio. Okay, think joke, and I did scare me. No joke. 1000%. I get it. All right, let's see who else is here. Hi from Chile. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm not gonna keep you long here. Again, I'm gonna close off. It is Sunday, so again, what I wanted to say is that source is everywhere around us. We don't need to look for source anywhere else. And when you combine all the different perspectives and aspects from all around us and looking at us, this whole combination is what we call source, including ourselves. Okay, and again, I'm going to say, for those of you that don't know me, you can hit a follow here on my TikTok, and at the same time you can also hit the little bell icon, and from there you will get notified every time I upload a video. And for those of you that were asking for my other social media platforms, you're going to find my link tree at the bottom of this page. You will find my YouTube and Instagram. I am going to add a website this week coming up, most likely, and that's going to be my personal website, because a lot of you have been asking for mentorship and all that, which is going to start after the holidays, of course. And from there, you can actually sign up through the website as well. Okay. And for those of you that do want to subscribe, this is your opportunity while I'm live. You got maybe another couple of minutes to do so. That's the only time you can subscribe. Anybody that does so and wishes to can actually have a quick Zoom meeting with me on a one-to-one just to catch up on things. All right. So, and again, no matter what you do, be the greatest you. Love and light to all. Yes, it is exciting, Joanna. I know. Everything is exciting. Love and light to all. And again, keep smiling and know that source is always around. Okay? You don't need to look far to find source. Love and light to all. Good night or good morning, whatever part of the world you're in. Take care. Bye for now.